Hi friends, one of the subscriber was looking for the slowly changing dimension to the version flag, how it will work. So we have discussed the slowly changing dimension 1 and 2 in my earlier videos. So specific to slowly changing dimension 2, I have explained about date usage in slowly changing dimension 2. Now today's topic is specific to version flag. Using version flag, how we are going to maintain the history. So whatever the changes comes from the source side, when it reaches to the target side, how we are maintaining the history information. So that is the idea behind it. I'm not going to give the full detail about the background of slowly changing dimension, since we had already discussed enough. So directly I'm jumping into the mapping implementation. So when I talk about the mapping implementation, this is how it look like. Source, we are taking the EMP table, and on lookup transformation, this is similar to the left outer join. It will try to check with the target table T underscore EMP with the source table EMP. And here the interesting part is we are using the SQL override, lookup SQL override, to get only the maximum version record. Because if there is a brand new employee is coming in, so that time the version flag will be 1. But when there is a change happens to the same employee, the version number will increase. That is, tomorrow his salary got updated or he got promoted, so the so and so reason, so those changes to consider. So the is version number will change. So whatever the maximum number version number, that is the latest record we can consider. So with that understanding, so every time when we run this ETL process, so we have to ensure that in the lookup transformation to get the maximum version number against the employee. So once this is done in the lookup side, we will get into the expression transformation. Means the lookup transformation information will be passed on to expression transformation to categorize whether the incoming records is insert or update record. Okay, so both lookup data return fields as well as the source information passed into expression transformation, and that will be checked against it to verify whether the incoming records is the change from the source is insert or update record will categorize. Once this is done, the fourth step is grouping the records based on the insert flag and update flag. We'll group the thing, and once it is grouped, the corresponding instances what we created for the target side instances means we'll duplicate this table as such. It will be same, but only two instances will be creating. So for insert record one instance and update record one instance will be there. So then the sequence generator, fifth step, will help you to generate surrogate key in the target table. So it's like a unique to define the each record uniquely. So the surrogate key will be the key thing. Means it's like a general running number, as you know already. Okay, so because when the same employee number changes repeatedly coming in, so the unique information against the record will be violated. To manage the uniqueness, the surrogate key is the important thing as a running number we are maintaining. So that is the reason sequence generator transformations is plays a critical role here to get the surrogate key. And finally, with a combination of router transformation and sequence, we are mapping the thing to the target side and connecting and do the field mapping accordingly from the source data changes. Then we'll run the thing, and finally it will the changes will apply into the target table. Okay, let us see into the SQL Developer here. So this is the 14 records what we have. Okay, so this is the 14 records what we have. Okay, and target table we have T underscore EMP. So this is the structure what we have. The surrogate key we named as EMP key, and rest all the structure same. And finally we will see the version flag to define it. This is the integer. So as I told you, the maximum number will be considered as the latest record. Okay, so if you see in the excel, small excel illustration, this is how it will look like. So 14 records, whatever we see that in the source table, it will look like. And the target label, so based on the iteration we are going to run it, I'll paste it. So as I told you, insert, the fresh insert record will be 1, and when there is a update, the lookup sources plus 1, lookup version number, the target table version number plus 1, it will be there. For example, if there is already one record is there against uh, for example 7839, on record, new records is coming in, initially it will be 1, and when there is a changes comes in, it will become a 2. Okay, so now let's go and do the implementation here. In Informatica, we'll create a mapping. So the source table will be, I'm using the source schema. Okay, so the source selected. Now the next thing is the lookup transformation, will define it. Okay, the lookup transformation. Okay, yeah, so the lookup transformation with lookup object, it's going to be from the oracle target, and here the object will be t underscore emp. Okay, so this is the target table. So now let's connect from the source to lookup. Then we'll go back, and you can see the name conflict. So since the same column names conflicting in both the tables, we have to give the prefix to differentiate. Okay, so this is done. The next thing is already lookup object we selected. Now the next thing is giving a join condition against, this is the lookup side and this is the source side. And the other part is, like, if you go back to lookup object again, here we need to define a lookup SQL override as I told you before. So if you go back to my notepad, see, to get the maximum record number we have to apply SQL override. I have already the return query here. Okay, this is the query to help it. So basically this query, what it is trying to do, it is like against each employee number version, the maximum version number we are taking with the help of subquery. Okay, with the same table only, with the if I am grouping against the employee number and get the maximum number, and that maximum number record only, the latest record only, we are going to bring it. We are not going to pull all records, the history information. We want the latest that is the reason again applying. And this is the schema is optional, but you can give it, it's, that's it. So that is the only condition, then we are good with this one. Now the next part is we have to introduce the expression transformation. This expression transformation, again the data coming from the source. So we are doing like this. So the insert and update operation, we are going to compare against lookup and expression transformation result set. So we are going to again look back to expression transformation from here. Okay, so then here again you have to resolve the conflict. See, we have to resolve the conflicts. So give the prefix as lookup, and this prefix you can give source, or okay. Then once this is done, we are good. Then the next thing is we can create a variable. So if you see here, this is the variable. First variable we are going to define it. So the incoming records is new record or update record. So the new record will be considered as insert. So this is the expression we supposed to do it. See here, validate, and the next variable what you are going to create is update. So update is against already the record is existing in the target side, but if there is any changes against other columns, so that is what we are trying to validate. So see here, so the source side and lookup side, the record is exit. Lookup is nothing but the target side. So but the other column information attributes are getting changed, so we are ensuring that record is the update record. And other than that, we are, if there is new record, we are keeping addition one more variable called version variable. So this variable help will give the data type as integer and will define the expression as 1. So why? Because all the new record comes in, new employee records comes in, it will always, it will be a fresh record, right? So that is the reason we are giving like that. And the next thing is update, and this data type again integer. When this is also done, and here the interesting part is, so this update record, as I told you, it will be a maximum version number plus 1. So already we took the, through SQL override, we took the maximum record, correct? From that we will get the maximum version number plus 1. Validate again, this is also good. So now we are good with this expression. Now we are going to create a router transformation to group the categorized information. Okay, so this is done. So we will pass on this, and now here we need to create a two groups. Okay, one is insert group, insert record. Okay, so we can simply define insert and validate. So it will validate the boolean expression here. Okay, if it is true, that is what internally convey the message, automatically considers insert record. And next one is update and advance, define it and call this variable. Okay, validate. That's it, we are good now. Okay, now the other thing is we have to create a route, a sequence generator, correct? So before to that we'll create one more instance as well. Okay, so one instance for new record, and another instance is for, this is for insert record, this is for update record. And we need a sequence generator for surrogate key, I told you, right? So we supposed to introduce the sequence key here, and once you place this sequence generator transformation, so please ensure that in incoming field, or in an advanced tab, disable the incoming fields. We don't need, we are not going to pass it anything. So that's it. Once this is done, simply pass on this to the target instance 1 and 2. Okay, now we are ready, almost we are done. Go to the target side and select the target to finish it off. Select the target. We know already the target is t underscore emp table. Select the temp table and target field mapping. Okay, so here you can, if you don't want, so you can adjust the incoming field for readability, delete the rule, and define only what you need it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is configure and select only the required columns only, not even the cur value column we don't need it. What we need is only from the source side, correct? So next 12, and it's a new version, that's it, correct? So source source source, that's it, correct? So because all the source records coming in, correct? So then directly go to field mapping. Now it will be because the lookup side we don't need it. So now we'll do the smart map here. When you do smart map, so now the next value going to be emp key. Okay, and okay, now the mapping is almost done, correct? So now the target one. Okay, so here also we can introduce and remove whatever we don't need it. So here the thing is, we need next val, we need update version record, we need source side, source side, source side, source side, source side, that's it, we are done. So now we are good for field mapping. Okay, but okay, target I didn't select it, sorry for that. Okay, so we are ready almost, except field mapping, smart map. Okay, so now okay, update version is done, so that's it, save. Okay, mapping got saved, so valid also, mapping valid. Now let's try to do this mapping. Okay, okay, we can give m underscore emp version flag. Okay, save this mapping, mapping is valid. Now let us do the next thing is we'll create a mapping task. Okay, so to hold the session, because multiple session we are going to run it, right? It's better to create a mapping task. So select the mapping. Okay, next. Now the sequence current value is 1 and initial value also 1, we are good. So I'm not going to schedule it, I'm going to run it as is finish. So mapping task got created. Now let us try to run and validate it, because now currently the target is empty. Okay, we'll run this. We should see the 14 records should be loaded into the target set, correct? So the 14 records have been loaded. This is the target instance, correct? The insert side. So now let us go back and see that. Okay, all 14 records have been loaded, and see that all with version. See that 14 records have been loaded. This is the surrogate key and this is the version flag is 1. Okay, this is the first iteration we ran it. Let us try to do one update. Okay, few updates will do it, and we'll try to introduce new record. Okay, in the source side. Okay, this is a new record I'm inserting, trying to insert. Okay, so one record have been inserted. Now let's try to update one record as well. So now one new record and updated record is there. Let us try to see. For this one we should see the version number as 2, and this one we are going to see the version number as 1, because this is a brand new record. Okay, let's try to rerun the task. So now you can see that one record in the as gone as means inserted, have been inserted, and one record have been updated. Now we can go and see in the target side. Okay, if you see here the surrogate key with 15, it's on a new record. Since the new record, the version number is 1, and the 16 surrogate key with the old record, existing employee, but the maximum number it took it plus 1. That is the reason the maximum version number become 2. So you can see with this Excel representation as well, you will understand more. So you can, now you can see the difference. See here, 7499 and this 74. Okay, so that's it friend. This is about slowly changing dimension 2 with the version flag, how to implement it. Okay, hope you like my video. Please subscribe my channel.